All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this thing that we call the Big Boss Man Roundtable. This place is not for the light of opinions or those that love to opine about general topics. This situation here that we call the Big Boss Man Roundtable is a place where the heavy hitters come to talk about heavy topics, not for a long time, but for a good time. And I want to first say that the three of us met on social media on a platform called Twitter, where we used to just go at it 24/7, 365 about topics and whatever narratives, whatever existed in the Knicks universe. And so we have been or have known each other. I won't say I ain't gonna say friends yet because we didn't start clicking like that until we started connecting on that level, until there were faces outside of the avatars, right? But for the most part, the man of the hour, myself, Uncle Freezy, the narrator, and our special and important guest, have been knowing each other over 8 years, almost 9 years, right? Let me first introduce the creator of Knicks Freestyle on Blowing's Tears, Free Keith, and and the creator of this platform, or, this show here. This is such a great idea, right? I won't go too into his accomplishments because we only have like 45 minutes. So I don't want to be up here reading his resume like it's a rap sheet. But he's one of the smartest people in the Knicks universe. Well educated man, right? Don't back down from nothing, right? Well traveled, well educated, well spoken, all those well things that go along with it. Man, y'all put y'all virtual hands together, throw some fire in the chat once y'all see this. For my homeboy, somebody that I also consider a friend, Woodshed 1914.
Salute to everybody out there, man. Let's get to it.
Bip, bip. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. Because I know y'all didn't come in here to come in for a soft landing. I'm gonna throw a topic out here. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. The Knicks are entertaining trading Derrick Rose to a place that he can not only play but win a championship. They want to do right by Derrick Rose, right? Free Keith, how do you feel about the Knicks trading away Derrick Rose? You muted.
I got mixed feelings about it, but I I think it's inevitable at the stage that we're at. Although I think like as an elder statesman who's also playable, I liked him feeling like our Udonis Haslam kind of role. Like him, he's an NBA player who not only his game, but he is respected throughout the whole league, players, coaches, you know what I'm saying, alike. And I think that is that's a valuable person to have around, especially when you have one of the youngest teams in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that fans don't realize what we see here in terms of like the good play from Quick, the things we like about Obi, all the stuff that we like about even the cohesion of that second unit. A lot of that came from Derek. A lot of that came from D Rose.
Yeah.
Me personally, he's one of the guys that I respect most in the NBA. Like,
Period.
period, hands down. And it's reflective in the fact that fan voting, this dude Derrick Rose was in the All-Star game based on fan voting.
Right.
Yes, and this man plays he plays about less than, I guess, what, less than 5 minutes a game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a testament to who he is. So like, I don't just look at I don't want to. I personally wouldn't want to move him just for, like, to create space, or unless we're making a move for something big. But like, if we're gonna move him, I respect the fact, especially with the help that he gave the Tibbs and this team from the moment that he got here. I think that it's worth respecting him to fight to find the right deal for him and for us. But like, he shouldn't be some just throwaway. Send him anywhere. That wouldn't be right.
Okay. Okay. So, what are you thinking, bro?
I'm gonna give you my emotional response first, right? Um, the emotional fan in me says this dude is an MVP. The list of guys that have won that award in the history of the game is definitely less than 100 names, right? It's a special award. So for him to win that award, that makes him a
Youngest ever.
legend. Point blank, period. Him winning the MVP makes Derrick Rose a legend. Now, whether it's Hall of Famer, that's neither here nor there. But him winning the MVP at 22 years old makes him a legend. So everybody in the NBA right now, and most of the dudes watching, aspiring to join the NBA right now, that's their favorite player. That's their favorite player's favorite player. That's Ja Morant's favorite player. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That so him being in the locker room is a big part of it. Another emotional answer that I'll give you is that he showed when he first arrived and he still had the juice because he wasn't playing a lot of minutes in Detroit. Was that this team, if they get good point guard play every day, they can be a competitive playoff caliber team as is.
Okay.
As is. Now the logical and sensible fan in me is going to say it's time because he still has more to give to the game, right? And a guy that has more to give to the game on the court, you want him to have an opportunity to do so. So it really is. We should have traded him last week, yesterday, kind of type scenario. Because while I love him in the locker room, as a Knicks fan, I don't want to see D Rose wear another jersey. But it's just time because he's got more to give to the game. But I just hope that when they do it, they make it count.
Okay. All right. So shout out to Free Keith, who is out in nature. I'm not gonna give away his location. It ain't for me to give away, but shout out to my main man, Free Keith, right? But and yeah, I hear both of y'all's points, man. And this is where I am with Derrick Rose. Don't trade him. Keep him here, right? How you do right by Derrick Rose is build this team up, right? Go get some more talent, man, and make that run. Tibbs, because here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is Tom Thibodeau's last stop, right? Right. As the man, I'm sure after this he'll be an assistant coach somewhere. But Tom Thibodeau will turn 65 on Tuesday, and he's got 2 more years on this Knicks contract after this. So after his Knicks contract is up at age 67, I, I I'm confident in saying that the Knicks are not going to give a 67-year-old coach
Nah,
a
nah, he's not.
4-year extension.
Yeah, he's not.
You know what I mean? And that's no knock on Tibbs, right? It's no knock on Tibbs. That's not what I'm saying. But
How old
at
is
that
Pop?
70, right?
Yeah.
But the thing about Popovich is, when's the last time Popovich has been relevant? Like
Well,
the thing with
2000, what, 2016 or something like that, like six or
right,
7 years ago.
yeah,
Yeah.
Popovich is in his Kobe years. Popovich is in his Bill Belichick years, in my opinion. Right now, where they're letting him do whatever it is for however long he wants to do it because they feel like the franchise owes it to him. And in my mind, but Tom Thibodeau is not like that with the Knicks, right? Tom Thibodeau hadn't been
So
here
you
since
telling me?
1994.
So you saying that if Pop didn't have top shelf quality like talent like he used like he had in times past, like if he had top notch talent right now, he couldn't coach a team to the finals.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
What I'm saying is in years past, Tom Thibodeau would have took a team that looked like the team last year with DeJounte Murray and had them challenging for the Western Conference Finals. That's what I'm saying. There's a difference, right? Because there were years when the Spurs
Talent matters.
I understand, but there are years that all they had was Kawhi Leonard, Derrick White, Patty Mills, and whoever. But I'm not saying this about Pop. What I'm saying about Derrick Rose is, if you trade Derrick Rose away, it's going to look less like a parting gift and more like a business decision, because Derrick Rose is on an expiring contract. And at the end of the day, teams use expiring contracts to acquire future assets, right? So instead of having it look like, a cutthroat business decision, I would rather keep Rose, right? Because you're not really going to get much for them. I mean, nobody's going to give you. Come on, nobody's going to give you anything for a former MVP past his prime. That's probably a rotation piece at best. Nobody's going to give you anything for him. Maybe a future second round pick,
Let
right?
me tell
Is
you.
it worth it?
Let me tell you something. I like. Funny enough, I'm going to agree with you. I would rather find a way to keep him. That's just me. I know that that's probably like not. It's not a popular opinion, but so I agree with you there. But I also say this: the type of respect, and it's weird because like not many, dude, not many guys in the NBA carry the amount of the level of respect that D Rose carries.
Right.
He goes to a team and they do him dirty. Guys are gonna look at that.
Right.
Guys are gonna look at that. Like
Like Cleveland.
that's not gonna wherever he goes. Like
Right.
if we send
Don't
him,
forget about the Cleveland years.
where
Derrick Rose played for Cleveland.
true story. But I'm talking about now. Like he's on a team on the upswing, high profile team that he helped actually get to this point. You think those players in the league that when we talk about like free agents and how they think about teams and how we treat players matters in terms of how players look at the team, dude, that's a big one.
Right.
That's a big one. I would not want to mishandle that and make it look like we just threw him away. That's not a good look. That's
Right.
not a good
Here's the
look.
dilemma. Here's the dilemma. I think we all will agree that Derrick Rose doesn't want to leave. He wants to play.
Mm-mm.
And that's the dilemma, because you have a starting point guard in Jalen Brunson that's going to play anywhere between 35 to 40 minutes every
Yeah,
single night. You know
Right.
what I'm
and
saying? And
he knows the
Derrick is a
business
point
though. He
guard.
knows that. Mhm.
So that's the dilemma, is that he doesn't want to leave, and none of us want him to leave, but he also wants to play. So when I say if you move him, you have to make it count. What I mean by that is you got to go ahead and swallow the mustard, grab your manhood, and take a swing. Which means you can't just trade Derrick Rose. You ain't gonna get nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? The contract is expiring. He's 34 years old this summer. You're gonna have to take a swing. If that means you got to take a Derrick Rose, take a Obi Toppin, um, take a Miles McBride, and try to get something of substance to push this team over the top, then you have to do that. I wouldn't want to trade Derrick Rose to a contender just for a 2027 second round pick. Like that wouldn't move me at all.
But that's about
So
the
if you're going,
market, though.
yeah, and it is a future second round pick is probably what you're going to get. Um, But I would rather them package him with some other players or some draft picks and take a swing at something than just to trade him for to just to trade him unless Derek comes out and says, "Hey, I want to leave," which I don't think he's going to do. Like y'all said, the man's playing him. He's in Madison Square Garden. He's with his coach. You know what I'm saying? He is practically a player coach on the sideline. Like when you look at New York basketball, Derrick Rose and Tom Thibodeau, that's the culture.
They are an
That's the culture, man.
institution. Derrick Rose and Tom Thibodeau, like I feel like no other coach player that I can think of in NBA history. Like those guys are an institution.
They're connected. Yeah. Like Popovich and Tim Duncan.
Yeah, and it took the Miami Big Three to prevent those boys from at least getting one. If it wasn't for the Miami Big Three, I think they would have at least got one.
Right.
At least one.
Right. And when I say like Popovich and Tim Duncan, I don't mean the production that they got. I'm talking about the player coach personal connection. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking
And
about.
listen, for as many championships and MVPs and final MVPs and first team all NBAs and all-star MVPs and all-star selections as Tim Duncan has, listen, man, Derrick Rose is more popular and probably even more respected as a hooper than Tim Duncan.
And I say
More.
this too, like the reason why I wouldn't make that comparison, it's easy. Like, where did Tim Duncan play his whole formative career? Under Pop. Pop didn't go to any other teams. He wasn't on no other teams coaching, and then Tim pulled Tim Duncan's along. Like yo, Tom
And
Thibodeau literally pulled Derrick Rose onto every team that he was a head coach on from the time he was a head coach of Derrick Rose.
Right. Right.
Every time pop. I mean, every time that Tom popped up with a head coaching job, Derrick was soon behind.
Right. And mind you, they're
I don't think I've ever seen that. I don't think I've
yeah,
ever seen that with anyone.
and their bond was formed when Tom Thibodeau used to create the most stout defenses the NBA had ever seen for the Boston Celtics, and Derrick Rose would use his athleticism as the opponent and destroy a Tom Thibodeau defense.
but
Right?
let me interject one thing real quick because this is what makes the situation uh so complex and so intricate. The bridge is already there because think about it. It's one guy in the NBA that plays like D Rose, minus the hops. It's one guy in the NBA that was a little 8-year-old, 7-year-old kid running around the United Center when Derrick Rose was winning the MVP and his daddy was coaching with Tom Thibodeau. That's Jalen
Right.
Brunson.
That's Jalen Brunson, Mr. Illinois
So
basketball.
so 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 you have the next D Rose in the locker room. You know what I'm
In
saying?
terms of leadership
In terms of leadership and ability to
and that
impact the
quiet, that
game
quiet toughness, they the same type player.
exactly.
I
And
don't
you
want
look at
guys
it,
to think that we're talking about their gameplay being the same. Like, oh,
right?
just as a caveat, I know how the Knicks fan verse is. Like, oh, just as a caveat, we're not saying their games are exactly the same. But go
We're
ahead.
talking mental makeup,
Right,
Hmm.
toughness.
right?
The small, he may be the smallest one on the court, but Jalen Brunson, Derrick Rose was the same, but that's the last one you're gonna walk up on.
Right.
That's the
I
last one
think
you're gonna
Brunson
walk
is. I think Brunson might be a little sturdier, but he also don't play above the rim like Derrick Rose did.
Yeah, he doesn't
Nah,
have the hops.
nah,
He doesn't have the
nah.
hops at
But
all.
Nobody does.
but I tell you what, I don't see too many guards with the big man footwork that Brunson have in the paint. This is an aside about Brunson. Like yo, like I still marvel at how he works in the paint, backing down bigs. Like I that still amazes me that he bangs in the paint like he does,
Right.
like if he's a big.
Right.
The last Knicks guard I seen work down low like that was Mark Jackson, and we all know Mark Jackson's a Hall of Fame caliber player. I ain't gonna get into the Knicks let him go, but this dude, Jalen Brunson, is the best point guard the Knicks have had, man. We talking at least 20, 25 years, man. At
Dude,
least, at
a
least,
dub worth of years. You are
at least.
100% right.
Right.
And I dare somebody to argue me on that. There is no like, and I love Marbury. I love, you know, there were guys I love because stylistically I just like to see them play. But like, dude, this Brunson is the real deal.
Right. Right. But this Derrick Rose thing, though, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't know what you can get for Derrick Rose on the open market. The only thing I see that I think the Knicks would be satisfied with if Tibbs were to split with Derrick Rose is maybe a Derrick Rose and Cam Reddish to the Lakers for something that the
Mm,
Lakers have. Maybe a veteran that they have, like Dennis Schroeder
You
or
know,
Patrick
mm,
Beverly.
mm,
I honestly haven't. I haven't really deep dived enough. And the issue is you don't want to just trade Rose anywhere, right?
Right.
Um, if you could use him and a Cam Reddish and another piece to get a Kyle Kuzma in here, or somebody like that, you would want to do it to make it count. But
Where does Kyle Kuzma
he,
play at though?
he
And
plays.
and
That's the
and and
problem. Yeah,
and,
that's the
and
problem.
how is trading Derrick Rose to the Washington Wizards doing right by him?
Well, that's the problem. Is that you can't just trade him anywhere.
Right.
So
Right.
to be completely honest, you better off just keeping him and finding a way to implement him, into the game. But who do you move out? You know what I'm saying? He's a point guard.
well, he could get some of Deuce's minutes. Deuce has not really been impressing me too much.
Right. Okay.
I mean, well, defensively, Deuce is. I'm not gonna front on the kid. He's definitely defensively probably
Right.
the
Yeah,
best rim defender we
even at
got.
34, he's not as good as Derrick Rose, even at 34. So
Right.
um, it's a tough situation, man. It's not your typical New York Knicks dramatizing situation, but it is a tough situation because me personally, I want to see him play. I like the way he plays the game. I think that having another attacking guard coming off the bench behind Brunson is great, and I think him
Would
and Quickly had major chemistry.
what about
And
this? What about
and Obi.
what about Derrick Rose to the LA Clippers for Robert Covington?
That's that's your best case scenario, in my opinion.
You
I
get your
like
six
that.
eight defensive wing. You know what I'm
I
saying?
like
He's a
that.
veteran that's not going to play a lot of minutes. Not right now. He just wants to make it to the now when he makes it to the playoffs. Now he's going to expect that 25, 30 minutes, key role, key contributor. He's going to be the guy that is begging to guard your Jason Tatum's, your Giannis's, you know what I'm saying, your guys. And he is a former all NBA first team defender.
Yeah, the Covington move. That's the Clippers. That's one destination for me that made sense because they need him. They need him on the court because Kawhi's health cannot be trusted. So they
Right.
literally need him on the court. You
Right.
got them
The
as a
only thing though is
contender,
they have Reggie Jackson and John Wall. Like how many
but
injury prone 10-year veteran point guards can one team take? That's the only
you
that's
know
the
what?
only thing.
What bothers me is that the destinations that I would have wanted to send him to, those teams ain't contenders right now. They're playing bad right
Right.
now. Like Derrick Rose would be a perfect fit for Philadelphia. A perfect fit for what they need right now.
Right.
Because Maxey ain't healthy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They have no point guard coming off the bench.
Okay.
No
I,
point
ra-
guard.
I if I could avoid it, I'd rather keep him out the East. Um, I'm feeling like the Suns is a nice destination,
Okay.
Yeah, they can use him.
and they could definitely use him. And to tell you the truth, like in this particular instance, I wouldn't mind taking back a guy like Crowder because he's somebody that Tibbs will play.
What about so the Phoenix Suns right now are 21 and 23 and Devin Booker is going to be out for a while.
They
I'm
need
telling
him.
you, the Suns is a good look. We might be able to get a pick out of it. But I tell you this though, I say this, and I like what if the reports that we're reading are true. What the team said was, or what was said by the team was that you know they're looking to move him but only for the right deal for him and the team. So
Right.
to me, yeah, I agree with what you were saying, Wood, earlier about like I'm looking at it probably like even though the article was talking about Rose, I'm looking at it as probably a more than Rose type deal that might get it done, that might have to take to get it done.
Mm.
And for all
I'm
of that, I if they can't materialize that for something that makes sense for the team, I don't even mind holding him through the playoffs because I feel like that's when we'll probably use him and need him the most.
Get the best version of them, right?
You know what? There's one destination that works, and
I'm
I think
reading.
it works.
I'm reading your
It works.
mind.
It
I'm
works
reading your mind.
from a culture perspective.
Yep.
Derek can compete. He
Yep.
will fit that city. He fit that locker room, and that's Memphis.
Memphis, you read my mind.
That's the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yep. Because
And
he went to school at Memphis,
yep,
and people in Memphis
yep.
love Derrick Rose. You
Yo,
And
read
you
my
know what?
I am not giving Ja his idol, yo. Y'all be putting a battery in Ja's back. Y'all bugging out.
nah,
But they have
but
they
here's the
have a player that we need. Like everything that we need, they have in a player that I think we could get. Now we would have to add something with it. But if
yeah.
you put Derrick Brooks on this Knicks team,
He'll
We get
be
who?
Jimmy Dylan
if if you
Brooks.
put Dylan Brooks on this Knicks team,
He'll be our Jimmy Butler.
exactly. You talking about at least second round.
Yeah.
At least
Okay.
second round. Because
Yep.
he giving
Okay,
you Quentin
you
Grimes
picking up.
shooting and he giving you the defense.
Yep.
So you putting
Yep.
you okay, so now there's another thing that we gotta consider. Like, okay, so who and whatever you trading for, are you trading for somebody that's gonna be a starter? So you want
Yes.
Dylan
Yes.
Brooks.
Dylan Brooks is a
Okay.
starter
So Grimes going to the bench.
to the bench. Yep. No choice. You
Okay.
don't have a choice. You don't
I
have a
doubt he
choice.
will. I don't think that's getting done. But good, I feel you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel you.
Dylan, I doubt they'll give up Dylan Brooks, right? Because as much as we talk about the Memphis culture, it's basically set up by Dylan Brooks.
He's that
Because
dude, man.
because he was there in Memphis when it was Jermichael Green, Dylan Brooks, who the power forward we signed when we signed Randall, Ivan Rabb. You remember Ivan Rabb? We signed a one year we signed like 19 power forwards, son. We signed like 19 power forwards.
Yeah, I
Yo, that was
remember
such a
Rad.
blur, yo. I don't remember
Ivan,
Rap, but that was a blur.
he was like they said he was 210. He looked like he was 6'10, 175. Yes, that
But I'm
Ivan
telling
Rabb.
you, this team needs a Dylan Brooks, man. And when Cam Reddish was playing, and he was playing at his height, and he was that good two-way wing that could finish, that could shoot, that can pass a little bit. Dylan Brooks gives you that for 82 games, man. Like if you want to talk about great value, Jimmy Butler, that's what he is. And when we go up against a team like Miami in the playoffs, you got somebody to go at it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and like you said, they may not give him up, but that's the one team, the one city, one locker room. Like, okay, I don't think Derek will have any issue going there.
Right.
Any issue.
Right. You probably have to take back more salary because Dylan Brooks only makes $11 million.
Right.
Right. So you'd have to take back another salary because Rose makes what 14 mil. So you have to take back a tiny salary.
But think
But
about that starting five, bro.
Jalen Brunson, Dylan Brooks, RJ Barrett, Randall, and Mitch.
and
That's a problem.
Grimes and
And
quickly and
IQ off the
Grimes off the
bench.
bench.
That's a problem.
Hmm.
That's the problem.
I think you got to give Memphis more than just Rose for Dylan
Oh,
Brooks.
definitely. Definitely. Definitely.
You're gonna have to attach draft picks, plural, for Dylan Brooks. Even though he doesn't produce a bunch of um scoring numbers, I think he's averaging 16 a game. That's a lot. But where his thing is defensive. His thing is
We'd have to
Tibbs.
give picks and take back salary though, right?
Yeah. We'd have to
Yeah, that
send
was
them. We'd probably have to send
That's a
them
lot.
Cam Reddish, Derrick Rose. And the perfect scenario for us to acquire Dylan Brooks would be for us to give them Obi Cam and a second round pick, right? But this is not a trade Cam Reddish segment. This is a, what I'm saying, if we trade
calm
Derrick
down,
Rose, what are
people.
we getting? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but and truth be told, man, in a perfect world, Grimes could become that. But
He
that
needs
that
time.
but yeah, he needs time. And like you said, the coaches, he's a senior citizen, bro. You know what I'm saying? In any profession, people don't normally work past 65.
Right. Right.
So that's rare. Um, that's
So,
but
so,
if I
so,
could pick a destination, that would be it.
so, gents, can I offer you this though? Can I offer you a weird destination that would be the best fit? It just doesn't look like it today.
I got a feeling I know what you're about to say, but go ahead.
You know I'm about to
Go
say
ahead.
the
You about
Orlando
to say
Magic,
some
I
weird?
knew you
Yeah,
was gonna
I
say
knew you was
that.
gonna say that. I knew
right?
it. I knew it. I knew it.
The only thing they're missing, bro. The only thing that young
They
team
don't
is
have
missing
that OG presence, man. They don't
is a
have it.
Derrick Rose. That's all they're
Yeah.
missing. And my
That'll
fear
make
is
them
if we
way too
trade Derrick
dangerous,
Rose,
yo.
if we
That'll
trade them
make them
Derrick
way too
Rose with
dangerous.
like 30 games left to go, they might catch us.
Yeah.
I
I
He
don't
mean,
know
he
if
it,
he
I
it's
did.
like
like
that, and I don't
it,
like
Rose
that for
did it for the
Derrick Rose
Knicks.
either.
well, here's the thing with the Derrick Rose there, right? All right. So Bol is going to play. He's balling, right? Cole Anthony is going to play. He's somewhat productive. Franz Wagner is probably going to be AK-47. Jalen Suggs is Russell Westbrook, right? Mo Bamba is Mo Bamba. Paolo Banchero is the number one pick. Terrence Ross is a stud. Wendell Carter is a stud. Markel Fultz has been balling recently. The mystery man is Jonathan Isaac. Would you do Derrick Rose for Jonathan Isaac? And I understand Jonathan Isaac has not played in 2.5 years.
Man, it's
I,
been
I
almost
understand.
3 years, bro.
Yeah, but
Ooh,
but I
man.
tell you this though. I tell you this. He just came back. He just came back, and they're signing the G League to get back in game shape. And
Right.
the dude is doing his thing already. So like,
Already.
oh, I'm thinking like, yeah, like I'm not selling out Jonathan Isaac. He's not looking like. And I'm watching the man play the G League games. He looked like he moving all right. Like he might be getting back to
And he
business
from New
very
York.
soon.
He from New York. Don't forget.
Yeah,
Yo, if we could trade them for Isaac right now, I'll take them
Right. And both teams
because
both teams get what they
his
want.
value is about to go up.
About to
see for me,
explode.
for me, man, it's see for me, it's a little different because it's some things about his. Um, I don't want to say personality because I don't know him, but just like something about the way he sees the game, approaches the game. I don't know if he built to fit with the guys we got. The Knicks got some
Mm.
grimy dudes on their team, man. They got
Well,
some grimy dudes on their team.
he's a perfect fit for us, Wood. You know why? Because first of all, he fits that culture that Leon Rose is putting together. Right? The because Jonathan Isaac is like a Manuel quickly type of personality almost off the court, except he's more lippy a little bit than quickly.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to like, I don't knock a man for his religion. And he's devout, like in that Reggie White push things over the, you know,
Yes.
how
Yes.
religion can kind of rub people the wrong way a little bit when you invade they, you know what I'm saying? But when you're talking about between the lines, how many 6'11" 3/4s are there that can guard 1 through 5 and shoot the three?
And that's all I'm looking at. That's why I
yeah,
wouldn't mind
yeah.
taking it. Like, and we wouldn't be able to. I'm telling you, we wouldn't be able to make the same deal for him once he comes back to the bigs
We
to the
won't be able to
bigs
do it this
and his
summer.
bigs. We won't be able to do it because I'm telling you, he's looking too good. Like the price on him is gonna go up.
Right,
It's gonna go
right.
up.
But y'all, you know what bothers me though? Um, what bothers me is you got a similar player in house right now. Right now,
Who?
Uh, okay. But see, to me, I feel like
Who?
I understand what you're saying, Wood.
I missed it. I'm
Like
sorry. Who did what should I say? Was similar?
he said, he wants an immediately productive player, like a player that is ready to go
Oh, I
right
thought
now.
you said a similar play. I'm sorry.
no, I said you have a similar player in the house right now, not from a
Who?
production standpoint, but I'm saying Cam Reddish is a similar basketball
Well,
player to Jonathan Isaac.
Cam Reddish is a
exactly,
soft ass right
exactly.
now, bro.
Dude, whatever the case is going on with Cam Reddish and the team and Tibbs or whatever behind the scenes, Cam ain't gonna play. So like we don't
He ain't
got
gonna
Cam.
play. And
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? So like if I could get now another Cam, I'm definitely with it. That you know what I'm saying, that don't have whatever background problems or whatever that's going on now. I am
right,
totally with it. And Jonathan Isaac coming back off, you know what I mean, coming back into the league right now, he can't make no like what you call it, like, oh, I gotta start or this, that, and the other. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's not in that position at all. He gotta reprove himself. So like
right,
we could pull him, you definitely getting whatever bench minutes, like this, that. I don't think we'll get any equivalent out of him.
right.
But
That
we'll
my
still get the actual player that we needed in Cam.
my thing is you can trade for him now and give up Derrick Rose and something, but the summer they're gonna be asking for RJ Barrett and something. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
That
you know,
that's
I told you who we need to go get, and if I told you we need to go up north to Canada and get that boy before he blow up.
no, but it's not about like the team thing. It's like what are we gonna do with Derrick Rose though? Does Toronto
Yeah,
need Derrick Rose?
they could use him.
They could use a
They
lot
can
of
use
stuff.
him. They need a lot
Yeah,
of help, man. They
Yeah.
need a lot of help.
But see, to
But
I wouldn't. That to me doesn't serve the Derrick Rose side of it because
right,
that team is not. They may fight their way in like in the playoffs, but that's not the same team. That's not the
right,
same team that was either before or directly after Kawhi.
right, right,
okay, so since we talking Derrick Rose, I think we can all agree we want to do everything we can to keep him out of the Eastern Conference in terms of sending him to a contender. So the thing about it is the Western Conference got some pretenders right now, man. Like the Phoenix Suns are supposed to be killing it. For the last
That's
two
why I
years,
said the Suns.
The Lakers are supposed to be killing it. The Clippers are supposed to be killing it, and they not. None of those teams that will be the perfect fit are one player away. You know what I'm saying? Like you would expect.
right,
That's the problem.
Like see with
right.
You
the
got young
Suns,
teams like
it's about
New
injury.
Orleans looking like the best team in the West, and that's the Pelicans.
Yep.
They looking like the best team out there.
Aren't they by
That's
the
a
numbers?
dilemma.
Aren't they?
Yeah, they like a top
Aren't they
three
the
seed.
yeah, yeah.
The Jazz are another team that's doing way better than expected. So that's what makes it so hard because the Lakers aren't a Derrick Rose away from winning a championship. The Clippers aren't a Derrick Rose away from winning a championship. Like, and that's the problem is that the destinations that we would all expect him to want to go to, they ain't playing well. And we halfway through the season now. So it ain't like we
The
15, 20 games in.
Right.
Your
the
team is what it
Suns,
is right now.
the Suns, Utah, and Memphis. Those are the
Okay.
teams.
So what are you getting from them? Suns, Memphis, and Utah.
You
If
got
it's
to
a
make
one
it
for
count.
one, if it's a one for one, again, it sounds crazy, but I would not be mad at taking back Crowder, at taking Crowder in that trade, because I feel like defensive, like as a not that he's like an elite 3 and D, but like as a 3 and D guy, definitely he could be useful off the bench. Definitely, he could be useful. He's definitely giving you like he can give you 10 points in a game, 10 points a
Okay.
game. Like you know what I'm saying, like I think, and he'll be somebody that can make the rotation just because of like defensive impact. I think like Tibbs will play him. So
Okay.
I like getting Crowder from the Suns.
Okay.
I don't know what mix of whatever it might take to get that. Because I don't know if the numbers match, but like so Crowder from the Suns. Who, I mean, there's a bunch. There's a couple cats I take from Memphis.
Um, the young shooting guard, Zaire Williams.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I doubt we get that. I doubt we
Yeah, that's
get
their
it. I
prize
doubt
possession.
we
Well,
get
Ja's
that.
their
That
prize
that would take a bigger deal. I think a little bit of a
Okay.
bigger deal.
Do
Okay.
they still have Kyle
But
Anderson
like
in Memphis?
No, he's in Minnesota.
Oh, it sure is.
Minnesota. Hmm.
Okay,
Would you
man.
would y'all do 48 and rolls for D'Angelo Russell?
Yeah, heartbeat.
I mean,
In a heart.
I would.
In a heartbeat.
Yesterday,
In a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
Okay.
yesterday.
You
See,
think
that's the
he'd be
type of
cool coming
deal.
off the bench? You think he'd be cool coming off the bench?
Grimes gonna be coming off the bench.
Yeah, I would. And
Nah,
you know what? You know what I like about D'Angelo Russell, man,
So
is that
wait, you have D'Angelo. Okay, I got you. I got you playing shooting guard.
yeah,
the bigger the stage, the more responsibility you give him, the better he plays. But I'm
the
gonna tell
better he
you,
plays.
that's another one of those young guys that was on that same Lakers team with Kyle Kuzma playing with who? Kobe
Kobe
Bryant.
Bryant. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Jordan Clarkson. Don't forget Clarkson.
Yeah,
Don't,
Clarkson's another dude that played with Kobe
don't,
Bryant. You see what those boys doing in the league right now.
Right, right.
yeah, like Randall.
Randall,
Randall,
and I keep
Larry
posting an
Nance.
interview over and over again. I keep posting an interview where they ask Kobe, "What do you think Randall has to do to take his game to the next level?" And he said he needs to see the floor better. Once he can
Yeah,
see the floor better, read the floor, and find his teammates,
yeah,
he'll be unstoppable.
yeah, yeah.
Now
And
what he doing?
The Lakers guard rotation at one point was Lonzo Ball, D'Angelo Russell, Josh Hart, and Jordan Clarkson.
And Clarkson
That was their
How
guard
that for
rotation.
yo? Wow.
At small forward, they had Brandon Ingram. At power
and
forward,
and Kuzma and Randall.
and Larry Nance Jr. Don't forget about
They,
Larry
Yo,
because
I,
Larry
I,
had
Nance.
they just waited a little bit longer, ran them
They
guys together a little bit longer.
they LeBron cleared house, and Rondo
Dude,
was trying
man,
to tell him
yo,
don't trade for Anthony Davis, bro. These kids, he tried to start a mutiny, but the Lakers did get their championship, and now they're in salary cap
yeah,
hell.
yeah.
I
And
mean,
I
well, they
ask
did get a
myself all the
championship out of
time.
it, but like
Yeah,
they ain't seeing that for a
I ask
while.
myself all the time how I feel about that. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't never seen no Knicks championship. And if Leon Rose traded all these picks and players away today, and the Knicks won a championship next season, bro, I'm good for 10 years.
I'm good for 20 years.
But like I can go 10 years without seeing a winning season. If they give me one championship, I promise you I'm good.
Hey, Freaky,
Mm,
guess what I was doing? Guess what I was doing when the Knicks won a championship? I don't know because
73.
I don't know because I was getting my rump white because I was in Pampers. Guess what I was doing when they won a second championship? I was legit holding my mama hand while she was taking me to kindergarten when they won a second chip, bro. So when cats be like, "Yo, but you was there when it." Nah, I was alive, but I wasn't there.
I
Yeah,
You
wasn't
feel
there.
man.
me?
You know where I was that second chip? Waiting 3 years to be born.
Yo, you wow, you wow, you
And
wow.
you know what though? That's why you don't hear Cleveland fans complaining. You don't hear Miami Heat fans complaining. You don't hear Dallas Maverick fans really complaining because they have seen a championship, man.
Yep.
Like if I see one championship, I promise you, man. Like I'll be Spike Leeing it up. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes, yes. That's why.
Yeah, you couldn't
I'll
tell me
Spike Lee it
nothing.
up.
That's why I went. That's why I went. And I got another question for y'all, and it's kind of like in this vein. I don't know how we got there. Maybe I tipped my hand a little bit, but I did want to say this. That's why when I hear Chuck D talk about the Knicks, I just sit back and I just listen because he know the environment and what the city was like. That's why when Spike Lee started talking about old school Knicks, I just sit back and I just listen, right? Because I remember when we drafted Ray Williams and Bill Cartwright and Mike Woodson and everybody, and we felt like that was our young core going into the '80s. Man, Ray Williams going to lead us to a chip. That's why every time somebody say something about a young core, I just put my damn middle finger up. Because bro, it's been 40 something years. Y'all been talking me to death about a young core, bro. I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of cats talking to me about a young core. Yo, Frank Ntilikina and Kevin Knox going to lead us to a chip. That triangle going.
Young cores don't win championships. And I think
No.
even some of the young, and I ask any fan that's under 30, I have to ask them, why the hell are you a Knicks fan?
Right.
And normally it's because they were raised by somebody in our generation that was a diehard Knicks fan. Because I think it was State that told me one time that he started watching like in 2001. And I'm like, bro, like, so your first recollection was the Marbury years?
You ain't never even seen Pat. He talking about the Glenn Rice era.
Bro, like,
Constantly amazes me. Like,
Yes.
I feel
Yo.
like all Knicks fans right now should be all over the age of 40. And only
Right.
because like I can't even understand anybody who will be a fan like within the last like 10, 15 years. Like you became a fan then? Like wow, why? Because if
Because
that's when I
Brooklyn
came
was
into
already
my
in the
my
city. Some of these Knicks fans had a choice between the Knicks and Brooklyn and chose the Knicks.
Joe's and
But let
Knicks,
me but
bro.
let me just say this real quick. I don't have a problem with young players. I like young players. What I despise is the young core theory. And those are two different things. I like young players. I like two or three young players. But
it's
don't
too much
tell me we gonna
ageism.
start. We got to lose games. We got to lose games in order for these young cats to get better. And then next year, don't start talking to me about a draft pick in 2 years, bro. I don't
Yeah, I
care
don't hear
nothing
about
about
that.
nobody who ain't been to the
Yeah.
prom yet.
Those are
Yeah,
people that who are accustomed losing, and
right.
they're so accustomed to losing that they project it in a way that will make them more comfortable. Like, oh, like we're losing towards getting better picks, so that's what we should do. Like, if we're gonna lose anyway, like let's lose, let's lose more and get better picks. Like, it almost makes you just comfortable with what you feel is the inevitable losing that you feel is gonna come anyway.
Right. Right. Right.
I'm gonna tell y'all where I am, and I'm gonna make this quick. Where I am as a Knicks fan right now, I just want to see a championship, man. I really just want to see a New
Hey,
York
well,
Knicks
Wood, let me
championship.
ask a question because that's my question. My question is this, and Wood, just humor me for this because I want the free Keith to go first, right? Because I know you're gonna get in your bag because I think I might have tipped my hand about the question. Free Keith, how desperate are you as a Knicks fan to see your team win a championship? How desperate? Now, and don't tell me mildly, like, because I know you're not casual because you don't talk Knicks every day if you're a casual Knicks fan, right? Like the casual Miami Heat fans, they don't care nothing about a championship. They care if their grilled salmon was cooked directly and if the wine matches, right? How desperate are you for the Knicks to win a championship?
I don't have any children yet. So I
Okay.
don't know what the feeling, what that feeling of joy must be like, right? I assume Knicks championship is going to be just below that. I'm very desperate for a Knicks championship. I I I am very desperate for a Knicks championship, but in the same way that I would not that I would refuse to have a child under like circumstances that I don't want,
Right.
I also feel a type of way about manufacturing a Knicks championship that mortgages our future, and that like I can see on the other end of that championship us going into another 20 years like what we just did.
Okay. So what about you, Wood?
I'm so desperate for to see a championship, bro. And y'all may laugh, but bro, if they win a championship, man, they can be dog water for the next 10, 20 years. I promise you. Listen to your boy, man. Listen to your boy. I promise you, Keith, I'm good. Give me one. Because every other NBA team is going to come with a prefix.
Right.
SORAZZ. Soraz. Soraz Celtics. Soraz Lakers. Soraz this. We the champions. And
We
and
the
and
champ.
and listen, I got a twin brother, right? And we were watching the Knicks. I think it was the '96 season. Um, and we were watching upstairs, and I said something to him, and we start fighting. I don't know what it is.
Off jump.
I don't know what it was. I think it was I think Oakley refused to go out and defend PJ Brown on that elbow jump shot.
Oh
And I
yeah.
was hurt. I was so hurt by him. He was laughing. And I don't know what I said, but he swung and we were fighting. And from that point forward, dude been cheering for the Heat because he wanted to cheer for the Heat just to get at me. And he legitimately became a fan. But listen, it's torture that this man has seen like
Multiple.
four championships from a expansion team, and the arc of those championships came from the Knicks. So,
Right.
if they give me a championship by 2027, fellas, they can suck until 2050, bro. I
Right.
promise you. Trust me, I'm good. I'll
Right.
be on Twitter in 2050 saying, "Hey, I know one thing. I know in 2027 we beat all y'all.
We beat all y'all. We
We were the
got this.
champions."
Yeah, and it's
I
the
I
and
feel I feel you.
what you just mentioned is Occam's razor's theory, right? And everybody knows what Occam razor is. It's basically when you have the power to wield the hammer, you damn sure better swing it. Because you don't ever know when you're going to get the opportunity to hold the hammer, right? You wait a long time to hold the hammer. So when you get it, you better wield it. And that is what Knicks fans are waiting on. That opportunity to watch and I don't care what floor they doing on. People like, I can't wait to see the confetti fall on the garden floor. Man, I don't give a shit if the confetti fall in Portland, Oregon. You feel me? I don't care if we beat Portland. I don't care if we beat Portland in the finals. To see the confetti come out of blue and orange confetti. I don't care, bro. I don't care. Yo, I don't care if we beat the Lakers. To be honest, you feel me? Yeah, it's one of them. It's one of them things to me. It's one of those things to me that it is ecstasy and validation at the same time. Is adulation, ecstasy, and validation to me because for one, it's ecstasy in that moment that you're finally proving to the world that you are the best. And I don't need a game 7 buzzer beater, right? I'm hoping that in our championship run, we go sweep somebody, and in the fourth quarter, we're up by 30, so we can celebrate the last 6 minutes of the clock leading up to all of that. You feel me? Because we don't want to leave nothing to chance. But it's validation too. It's validation also in that we can tell people this is why we have been Knicks fans for so
For
long.
so long, bro.
This is why we didn't
So
jump ship.
long.
We didn't change the bandwagon. We didn't take a break. We didn't go away and come back. We didn't do none of that stuff. We stayed loyal the entire time. And
We
now
can't
our
be in the
guys
lottery
get
the next year though.
no, we can't be in the lottery next year.
That's what
But
I'm saying. So like my thing is like this. I hear what both of y'all are saying, and I actually like 99.9% agree. But that point oh 0.01 is like a deal like what the Lakers did. Yes, they got their championship, but we all saw what was gonna come. Well, we all knew what was coming on the other side of that.
right.
Like no way not to see it. So like, yes, they obviously purchased that championship. Like like they mortgaged everything for that championship. They got it, and then to the lottery the next year.
Right. But you know what though? Every time people come in the practice facility, they see the
See
Larry
that
O'Brien
banner, bro?
trophy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get to put something in the ceiling. So you get to put, not only do you get to put Eastern Conference champs in the ceiling, you get to put NBA champs in the ceiling. You know what I'm saying?
You know what removed that 0.01% for me? Was watching the Toronto Raptors win a championship. Keep that expansion team. They just came back to the league. They were the Huskies back in the 50s. They just got back in the NBA.
Right.
And the Toronto Raptors
Wow.
have won a championship. That was the one that triggered me and say, you know what, man? We got expansion teams winning NBA championships.
And now the team that came in the league with them, the Memphis Grizzlies,
They trending that way.
they trending that way too. And you know what the
They
Knicks
have
are
enough
doing?
pieces right now where if the Lakers put Anthony Davis on the block, they can go get an Anthony Davis to play with Ja and win a championship.
That's the NBA helping those teams out too, though, bro.
Yeah, that's the NBA helping out.
I'm not even gonna. I feel like we'd be in a better position if we were a small market team. We would have seen a triple already.
Well,
maybe
that's
you don't just
Adam
lose.
Silver's NBA.
They're not gonna let Utah like just lose, be the worst team in the NBA for 20 years and not like give and they not get like top lottery picks inside of there.
But Free Keith, the Utah Jazz fans spend top 10 money. They support the Jazz. They're a top 10 what do you call it? Revenue team.
And Knicks fans don't.
I know I'm not comparing them to nobody. No, I'm not comparing them to nobody. What I'm saying is they're a top 10 revenue team. They sell out their suites, they sell out they have they make bunches of money on TV. Right?
Because ain't nothing to do in Utah. I dig it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
right. But I'm saying, but Memphis is not like that. So, but anyway, I guess we can wrap here, man, because we right at the limit, man. But maybe we can pick up. Maybe we can pick up right where Free Keith said. Should the Knicks operate like a small market team? Maybe we could talk about that later on.
We can't. No, we can't. We can't. But yeah.
Okay. We can't talk about it?
No, we can't operate. We can't operate like a small market team. I'm saying if we were in a small market, we'd have better assistance from the NBA.
I have some questions for you though about that, and maybe we could talk about that on a different show.
If we was the Pelicans, and our generational player requested a trade, and like we end up in the first seed after being the 11th what you call it that same year,
right.
or
the Pelicans legit might win a championship.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, and or let's talk about Golden State. You just got a rack of championships. KD leaves, your top guy Clay goes down. You get a top 3 pick the next 2 years.
Right.
Yeah.
And you
get a top pick the next year. You get the one pick the first.
And you wind up getting 4 young players. You got Kuminga, you got Moody, you got Wiseman, you got Poole. Right? But anyway, let me
don't happen to the Knicks.
We could talk about that behind the scenes. Free Keith, as usual, it is a pleasure. My man Woodshed 1914, bro. This was an excellent idea. This was an excellent idea of yours, bro. Let me give you credit for that. Everybody listening, thank y'all for tuning in to a Lawrence Tears joint. We out of here, man. Y'all have a good weekend.
And let's go Knicks.
Peace out.